Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, last day of March, March 31st. And I'm Chris Allen here with your 270 weather for the 270 area code and beyond. Check one, two, check, check, check. Seems that my voice is a little raspy this morning after the live coverage last night. Appreciate everybody being with us in what turned out to be a bumpy night, but nothing really serious. I've not heard of any kind of serious wind damage, tornadoes, not here, of course. It was just a lot of very strong thunderstorms with the potential for some damaging wind and lots of rain, lots of lightning. But it was not the kind of situation, and I mentioned that it would not be the kind of night that we had back in December of 2021. It was nothing even close to that. This was just a lot of wind driven rain with this system as it came through. Thankfully, we had enough clouds yesterday to kind of limit how much instability there would be, and that really saved us from getting anything any worse. But now that we're done with that system from yesterday and last night, we now turn our attention to Wednesday and the end of this week because it is going to be nasty. We'll get to all the details here in just a moment. We start as usual with the view outside from the Plano Cam live this morning at 7:39, and there you see the clouds. There have been some showers this morning, just kind of leftovers from what we had last night. And I think for the most part today is going to be cloudy. There's a bit of a breeze that's out there this morning as the winds have shifted uh, from the northwest. There's going to be this light rain and drizzle from time to time, along with the clouds today, but no storms. This is all you can see the raindrops hitting the camera lens there. Um, this is pretty much what we're going to see today. Things will begin to clear up probably late in the day or tonight. It's going to take a while to shake off all of these clouds that came with the system of last night. So expect just a really, really cloudy day. Um, we're not going to see much of any kind of a change. It's going to be cooler. Temperatures for some of you will only be in the upper 50s to low 60s, if even that much. Is going to be a rather chilly day, chillier than it has been, chillier than this. 76 was the official high temperature yesterday at the Bowling Green Airport before all of the thunderstorms came in last night. That's 11 degrees above the normal of 65. So we're today is actually going to feel more normal for the last day of March than the last few days have felt. 58 was our low temperature, and at the airport, the official measurement will go down as 73 hundredths of an inch. That's almost 3/4 of an inch of rain. I know it probably looked or felt like it was more than that, and there may be some Kentucky Mesonet sensors that did pick up more than that, which I will check in just a moment. All right, here's a look at radar this morning, and it is uh, picking up on some of the heavier rain, which is down into Middle Tennessee, places like Murfreesboro, Chattanooga, Columbia. They're getting pretty good rainfall right now over toward Knoxville and the Smokies getting some of the rain. It's just little minor sprinkles, drizzle, mist here in Bowling Green, but the majority of the bigger rains have now moved off to the east. there still may be a chance of a shower today in the area. It's not going to be as organized as what we had last night, and certainly it's not going to be thunderstorms. This will just be your, um, just ordinary shower activity that's going to push through as we go through the morning. And especially this morning, I think things will begin to dry out a little bit more into the afternoon. Let's take a look at the satellite view, enhanced high resolution satellite. And you can see the thicker clouds. It's almost a dark gray there that you see from Bowling Green to Campbellsville to Tompkinsville. Lighter shades of clouds as you go back to the west to Madisonville and Hopkinsville, Paducah, and then even some breaks in the cloud cover once you get into southern Illinois and the Boot Hill of Missouri. That clearing will work its way slowly east as we go through the day and into tonight, and everything will look nice later on, especially during the day tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the nicest day that we're going to see out of, well, the next week, the next 7, because it's really going to not be nice once we get Wednesday here, and the end of the week, not looking good at all, at all. All right, Kentucky Mesonet Network. Let's check the numbers. Currently, as of 7:44 a.m. on this Monday morning, we've got 50s and 60s still in places like Adair County, Metcalfe County, Tompkinsville, Burkesville, Cumberland County. I mean, you guys are all upper 50s to low 60s, but you go from Bowling Green I-65 west, look at these 40s. The cooler air is just now coming into the Bowling Green area, and there's evidence of it. I mean, we're in the 50s, low 50s, but we're going to fall a little more into the 40s for a little bit, and then if the sun comes out later, we'll kind of surge back into the upper 50s, maybe. But that northwest breeze is going to make this feel much cooler, those 40s. So once the drier air begins to work in, we scrub out a few of these clouds before the end of the day, hopefully, then we may make it back into the 50s, but it's doubtful. Let's look at the wind. And the wind is coming in from the north and northwest, sustained winds at about 10 to 15. But then when you check the gusts, we've got 15 to about 20. Yeah, there's a 20 in Hart County. Winds, you can see the shift in the winds here, and that's the cold front, the actual cold air mass that's pushing through. Um, so the rest of the day, cloudy, damp, chilly, even. If you're out in the wind, it's going to be much chillier than what we have been feeling for the last several days. Let's check rainfall. I'm going to go past 24 hours. And the highest rainfall amounts, a couple of places. One, back to the west, and that's in Marshall County in Benton, Kentucky, 1.32. And then another hot spot is east. That's Casey County, Liberty, Kentucky, an inch and a half plus. But look at this, almost 2 inches of rain in Russell County over toward Jamestown, Russell Springs, 1.85. Now, where we are, the immediate Bowling Green, Southern Kentucky area, anywhere from half inch to 3/4 of an inch. There's almost an inch in Franklin, almost that much over in Logan County, Russellville. There is an inch up in Ohio County near Hartford, inch and almost inch and a quarter in Litchfield. And then you've got some 1 inchers plus over in Hopkins County, Muhlenberg County, and then down into Christian County. So when those thunderstorms, that line came through, uh, it put down some heavy rain in spots, but it wasn't all. It wasn't all in that line. It was there were some times when it rained out ahead of the line, and a lot of this out here to the east is what that was. We could see some of the development of storms out ahead of the main line before the line even crossed into parts of central Kentucky, and that's where they picked up additional rainfall. But that's some good rain, beneficial rain. And the thing is, unfortunately, we're going to pick up a lot more in the way of rain as we get into Wednesday, starting Wednesday, but not ending Wednesday. That's the problem. All right, let's talk about that now. Let's talk about the next system. Here is the one that's coming through or came through last night. Severe weather ongoing this morning in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Louisiana. I mean, there are tornado warnings going on in southern Mississippi and around the Baton Rouge and New Orleans area this morning, even down toward Birmingham, getting some severe weather. So all of that has shifted south. Our front is coming through, as I showed you, the contrast in temperature. Warm to the east of the front, cooler behind the front now. And I 65 is the dividing line between the wet and warmer air and then the cool, damp, breezy, chilly air behind it. But once we get into the afternoon, everything shifts east. We will still, I think, be cloudy. It may take a while to get rid of these clouds. Moisture gets trapped in these kind of situations. Uh, and still a little bit of patchy drizzle or mist, even a light rain shower, but all that moves off tonight. This is 7 o'clock tonight. Here we go into the day tomorrow, early, first day of April, April Fool's Day, and no fooling. Tomorrow is going to be the best day out of the next 7 because what's coming after this is not good. Here we go into 7 a.m. Tuesday morning, 7 p.m. Tuesday night, and here comes trouble. Yep, another system, and this one, uh, how can I put this? This one's going to have a deep, low pressure system. As you can see, it's got several, but the main one, 984 millibar, 983, 986. It's got a dry line. It's got warm sector moisture. It's got severe weather that is going to be, you'll hear about this tomorrow evening, Tuesday evening, severe weather breaking out in the west of us, Oklahoma, Kansas, and then moving east. We're going to have another one of those where we go from 60s into the 80s, setting us up for what's coming. And then the Gulf is just going to open up and it's not going to stop. So look at this moisture. The warm front comes in, lift, providing us with some what we call elevated thunderstorms. These are the thunderstorms that get lifted. They're not surface based necessarily with the daytime heating of the sun. These are elevated thunderstorms that come in for Wednesday morning as the front comes through. And you see that little red area? There's a little red zone right there in northern middle Tennessee, right on the Kentucky Tennessee border, for the possibility as that warm front comes in, there could be a few strong storms. And I'm going to show you the severe weather threat because you'll think, wait a minute, isn't that the severe weather threat we just had, yeah, it looks very similar. You'll see. Here we go into Thursday morning. Wednesday, rain, thunderstorms. Thursday, rain, thunderstorms. And you say, oh, look, there's a cold front coming through. All that rain. And even a red zone area, again, middle Tennessee, for the possibility of strong to severe storms. So we go from Thursday morning to Friday morning. Wait a minute. That front does not move. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't move. And look where all the heavy rain is, right on top of us. We're going to have a series of low pressure systems. Pretend that that front is like a train track, and the low pressure systems are, well, that's the train. Here comes a train, choo choo. It's going to ride along that front. Another one will follow behind it. Then another one will follow behind it. And what that does, it just sits and rains and rains and rains over the same piece of real estate over and over and over. So this is Friday. Look at Saturday. The front flexes a little bit, but that's it. Still heavy rain, more strong storms that are very heavy rain producers, drenching downpours, flooding. Flooding is going to be a problem. The maps just reset. Okay, there we go. Flooding. I can almost make a guarantee there's going to be flooding, and it's going to be serious in some cases. So this is Saturday. There's Sunday. The front does not move out of the area until Sunday. And even at that, it only moves over the Cumberland Plateau. We're still getting rain, even on Sunday. So you're talking about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 straight days of rain in the forecast. That is going to cause some serious flooding issues. You remember May 3rd of 2010 when we had it was 8 inches of rain, but it came all at once. That's the difference. This is going to come over several days. But you remember May 3rd, 2010, it was Derby Day, but at the same time, there was a big rainstorm, big flooding event where the Cumberland River overflowed. It flooded downtown Nashville and Interstate 24. And you couldn't get in or out of Nashville. That was 8 inches of rain, but it came within a almost 24-hour period. At least in this case, it is going to be over several days and not all at once. That's the only thing that's saving us from this being a catastrophic event. But for some, it is still going to be a very, very difficult 5 days because there's going to be water everywhere. Here's the severe weather threat for Wednesday, and there you go. Look at that. That is almost exactly the same areas and the same risk factor as what we had yesterday. Level 3 enhanced risk, pretty much taking up 2/3 of the state of Kentucky, including Bowling Green and southern Kentucky, level 2 to the east, level 1 far east. But here we go again, and this is mainly starting Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night, and then it will continue after that. What's the severe weather parameters here? We're not within the window of where they break it down to tornado, damaging wind, hail. That'll come tomorrow. But in the meantime, we're in again, just like this last one, a hatched, gridded area. That means with this on the scale here, 30 to 44% chance of severe weather with a greater than 10% chance of significant severe weather. In other words, more damaging wind, more hail threat, and even a tornado threat at first. I think the tornado threat will happen first thing. Then, when we get that out of the way, it is just going to be heavy rain, heavy rain, heavy rain, flooding, flooding, flooding after that. But there we go again. And even Thursday has all of the state in at least a category 2 slight risk for another round of severe weather. But mostly, this is going to be about heavy, heavy rain uh, as the system comes through, because it's all just going to turn into, we're just going to turn into one big puddle after that. Let me show you. Yes, I want to go to this next. Now, you're gonna be like, you you're gonna have to do a double take when I show you this. But let me explain. Future rainfall through Thursday. This is just through Thursday. Actually, probably a little bit of Friday. And I added some wording to this to say total collective rainfall. In other words, I didn't want you to look at that and think that that's all going to come in one day. No, no. We're talking about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and probably, we may have to adjust this a little bit more, but look at that. 7 to 10 inches of rain over that period of time, 3 days, 4 days, whatever. And that's not even counting what's going to come uh, Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday. But that's crazy rainfall. This is not good. And our rivers and streams are already up from previous bouts of heavy rain that we've had, but we have not had anything this heavy or on this magnitude since, well, you'd almost have to go back to 2010 when we had that 8 inches or more within a 24-hour period. This is I mean, this is, we're not used to this. We're not used to this kind of rainfall, but that I've not seen this kind of a map over us in years. That's how much rain's coming. Now this will be adjusted, I'm sure. It may go down. It may, the heaviest rain may get pushed back. There's some indication it could get pushed back further west toward Cape Girardeau, Carbondale, Paducah. But still, we're talking even 5 to 7 inches is a lot for us. And if you're a farmer, or if you're a construction worker, or you deal with the road department and things like that, this is probably more than we can handle in any given time. But total collective rainfall, the projections are 5 to 7 to maybe 10 inches of rain. It would not surprise me if somebody says they got a foot of rain during those 5 days. That's just nuts. But I want you to be ready for it. That's the thing. That's why I do this. I want you to be ready for it. Severe weather, yes, but then flooding, two-fisted kind of system. 60 today, and as I mentioned, cloudy. We can probably reduce that chance to more like 10 to 20% of any kind of showers today, just really light stuff, flyby stuff. Tomorrow, as you can see, will be the best day out of the next 7. Sunny, 65. That's exactly where we should be for a high temperature this time of the year. Then here we go again. Another round of strong to severe storms on Wednesday as we warm all the way to 82. Thunderstorms could be severe. The threats are all on the table once again, just like last night and yesterday. Then we turn to the flood that's coming and the heavy rain. 70s Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Some of those where you see 70% each day, that may go up to 80, 90, 100%. The chance total. Knock it out of the park here. It's going to be crazy, crazy water everywhere. And then finally by Sunday, I do see us, starting to cool down. The system finally comes through and we start to get rid of all the very heavy rain. But it's going to take a while. And those high waters are going to continue into next week and the week after. And if we get any more rain after that, that's just going to add to it. So look for high water problems, issues with flooding and water everywhere as we get past Wednesday. If you live on a road or live near um, a river, stream, creek, whatever, this is going to be a big problem. It's going to be one of those situations where many, many roads get closed because of high water, and some folks may have to move, get away from the high water, especially if you live, places like Rochester and Woodbury and, places that are along rivers like that. It's going to be a problem. And they're saying some of the highest water will be in and along the Green River Basin. So that would include not only just the Green River, but also the Barren River and Trammell Creek and things like that. That's where the problems are going to be. So again, we'll continue to highlight this and update it as we go through the next several days. Thank you for watching, everybody, and chiming in this morning to 270 weather. I'll see you tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on News 40 WNKY because local matters.